Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. There are 40 participants as of now. So I think.
Yes, please, you carry on now. There are sufficient participants. The rest will be joining in the meantime. Hello? Hello? Kindly unmute your mic.
Yeah, I have unmuted now.
Okay,
because
no.
the host
Yeah.
did not allow me. Yeah.
Yes, please, now you carry on. Now you carry on, please.
Thank you so much, sir. So today we shall focus on Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018, giving special emphasis on rape provision. So in this particular online series of discussion with relating to law matter, we shall discuss these aspects with the summary or genesis, because everyone should know what am I discussing about. And you are free to give your opinions also, you are free to discuss, but at the end of the lecture, you are free to leave questions which I'll be answering later. So the summary or the genesis, what we are discussing about Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018 is legislative history about it, how Criminal Law Amendment Act came into force, what necessitated for the Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2018, so on and so forth. Apart from this, we shall proceed towards what are the amendments to the existing statutes which was carried out in CLAA Act of 2018. I will be referring CLAA means Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2018. And special emphasis will be given on compensation to victim of rape, that is a minor, and amendment to CRPC, that is Code of Criminal Procedure, amendment to Indian Evidence Act, and an analysis of this particular Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2018. So to begin with, we all have seen, I mean to say, in the TV or in the news channels, or we have seen in what is called as Crime Patrol and all, the horrific incident which took place in the year 2012, that is Delhi gang rape case. So when I say Delhi gang rape case, all of us will be dragged to that horrific, inhuman rape of a 23 years old physiotherapy intern named as Nirbhaya case. But her name was different because our law does not allow rape victims' name to be revealed at that point of time. Jyoti Singh, I think so her name is. And because of that particular horrific incident which took place in the year 2012, government immediately swing into action, of course because of the pressure, to provide adequate security and make sexual offences as deterrent and stringent. As a result of which, Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2013 was passed. Before 2018, one act was passed. I'm just interfacing that act with this act because before this act, that act was passed, which made sexual offences more deterrent and stringent. Of course, that act did not meet the pulse of the people at that time. And when the act was passed, 2013 CLAA Act was passed, it was severely criticized because of the shortfallings of expectation at the critical juncture of Indian legal revolution. Thereby, Three members committee was set up under Justice Jagadish Sharan Verma, shortly known as Verma Committee. Jagadish Sharan Verma was 27th Chief Justice of India and the chairman of National Human Rights Commission, who chaired National Human Rights Commission from 1999 to 2003. After Delhi gang rape case, this particular commission poured a number of recommendations to be made to the existing criminal legislations. When they were making recommendations, when the government was adopting recommendations, government was passing the act. After that particular act also, two incidents occurred, that is Kathua and Unnao. If I say Kathua and Unnao case, of course, it is also horrific incidents. Kathua rape case is nothing but, just in a short, if I want to say, it is a case wherein an 8-year-old girl in Rasana village near Kathua. Kathua is a name of a place, Indian Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, and it is a border between Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. Kathua rape case is the landmark case for 2018 CLAA Act. That particular girl fell prey to the savage lust of the gang and faced brutal sexual assault, and she was murdered. This incident occurred between 10 to 17th of January 2018. It shook the conscience of the legislatures, and people were agitated about the existing legislations, which was enough but could not curb the horrific incidents upon a woman, upon a child. After Kathua, even Unnao gang rape case was there. 17-year-old girl. Unnao is in UP. It is between Kanpur and Lucknow. It is a link. So because of these two particular incidents, Kathua and Unnao rape cases, it reignited the fading memories of December 10, 2012 and awakened the state, society and individuals. As a result, public roaring was there and the government was prompted to take corrective measures. A rushing ordinance was passed by the President of India invoking Article 123 of Indian Constitution. As a result of that, CLAA Ordinance of 2018 was passed. This ordinance was approved by the Cabinet, signed by the President of India, and this rushing ordinance was questioned by the Delhi High Court, where its acting Chief Justice Geeta Mittal issued notice to the centre asking relevant scientific assessment or research considering the government before promulgating such ordinances. To circumvent the situation, to fulfill constitutional requirement, Criminal Law Amendment Bill was introduced in the year 2018. Bill was passed in the Lok Sabha 30th of July 2018, and on 6th of August 2018, Rajya Sabha also gave its assent to the bill. Finally, the bill came into force. It replaced the ordinance, and now we are governed under Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2018. I'll give you the recent update on it. Recently, Union government has formed a special committee to suggest reforms to the criminal laws of the country. The committee will be headed by Professor Dr. Ranbir Singh, Vice Chancellor of Delhi University. Of course, before this, even Justice V.S. Malimat Committee of 2000 also revisited criminal law system, and it has submitted the report in the year 2003, wherein much of the concepts and recommendations of the report was adopted. This particular CLAA Act of 2018 amended 4 important legislations. 1. Indian Penal Code of 1860. 2. Code of Criminal Procedure or CRPC of 1973. 3. Indian Evidence Act of 1872. And POCSO, the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act of 2012. And when CLAA was amended, it gave ample room for judicial discretion while interpreting the law in future. Now, proceeding towards what was amended. Section 375 was already there, which talks about rape definition. Section 376 talks about punishment. Even it amplifies on what aspects who can commit rape, and whether public officer, whether member of armed force, whether hospital staff under whose custody the woman is, if they commit any sort of sexual activity upon woman, whether they are punished, and all this was there under section 376. But IPC, an important criminal legislation which consists of elaborate code along with the definition and punishment, was amended under two heads: by amending the existing sections and by inserting new sections. As I said, 375, which already there with the aspect of dealing the definition of rape, and also it consists of special circumstances, which were 14 in number, which was considered to be an aggravated factor to be considered. What is this aggravated factor? Aggravated factors are the attending circumstances which is serious factors in order to determine the concept of rape. 376, section 376 clause 2 talks about 14, of course, circumstances to be considered under the ambit of aggravated factors. For example, repeated rape, abduction, detention, or the offender is aware that he has some disease. Like, for example, a woman is being raped in this particular circumstances at the existing situation where COVID-19 is there, and the offender knows that he is affected with the a particular virus, that can be considered as an aggravated factor. So one of the major turmoil of this CLAA 2018 was, earlier 7 years of punishment was there, imprisonment was there, but CLAA enhanced it to 10 years in general. CLAA took age of woman upon whom rape is conducted into consideration. 16 years and 12 years. And if it more than 16 years, it comes under 376 section. Likewise, rape was determined under general rape and gang rape. If a woman below 12 years or under 12 years is being raped, new inserted section will apply, 376AB, wherein in simple language, if I want to say it, the 20 years of imprisonment, which may extend to life imprisonment. Life imprisonment mean here the remainder of person's natural life, and may also go up to death. If a rape is committed upon a woman who is above 12 years but below 16 years, section 376, new section, a new clause was added to it, that is 376 clause 3. Rigorous imprisonment of 20 years, which may extend to life and death. In this factor, if a woman dies, or if a particular girl dies, or murdered, or becomes subconscious, or becomes in a vegetative state, as happens earlier, at that point of time, the court may give death sentence to the offender. Now, one important question to be answered: what if rape is committed upon a woman who is more than 16 years? Woman who is more than 16 years, if rape is committed, comes under the category of section 376. As I told you earlier, there was 7 years of imprisonment, which may extend to life. Now it has become 10 years of rigorous imprisonment. Coming on, this is rape category. Rape category of a woman below, under 12 years or below 12 years. Below 16 years, who is about 12 years, falls under the category of 12 to 16, and more than 16. Likewise, simultaneously, gang rape. Before going on to the gang rape, let me tell you what do you mean by gang rape. In simple terms, one can say that gang rape is a rape which is performed upon a woman wherein one or more person constitute with a common intention rape upon a person, rape upon a woman. That is gang rape. And presumption is each and everybody who has involved in that particular gang has raped a woman. That is a presumption unless and until it is rebutted. The prima facie presumption. Say, for example, if a woman of under 12 years is being gang raped, new insertion section was there under CLAA 2018, section 376 DB. Mandatory life imprisonment or even death can be awarded. If a woman who is about 12 years but falls under the category of under 16, 376 DA will apply. This is also a new inserted section through CLAA 2018. Mandatory life imprisonment or even it can be extended to death. If a woman of more than 16 years, 376D, rigorous imprisonment which shall not be less than 20 years may extend to life imprisonment with fine. These are the categories of punishment and the age. Rape below 12 years, above 12 years, below 16 years and after 16. Gang rape, the same aspect, 12 years and below, that is 10, 9, 8, 7. 13, 14, 15, 16, between that is 16 below and above 16. Even Indian Penal Code was drastically amended. Few sections which calls for amendment through CLAA Amendment Act of 2018 was section 166 clause A subclause 1, section 228 clause A subclause D, section 376 clause 1, section 376 clause 3, section 376 clause 2, section 376 AB, section 376 clause DA, section 376 clause DB, section 376 clause E. All these sections underwent a major drastical change to make sexual assault and rape provisions more stringent, more deterrent. One of the most important facets to be noted here is mandatory minimum punishment. Mandatory minimum punishment of 20 years is an insertion, is a boon to IPC which is given through CLAA Amendment 2018. Say for example, a girl below 18 years entered into a consensual sex, that is with consent, with a man who is about 20. Mandatory minimum punishment is there for him. Even below, even if a particular person is below 16, below 17, below 18, mandatory minimum punishment is there, which is too harsh and too unreasonable. Decision on the quantum of punishment is not proper. They have made the eye for eye and tooth for tooth rule here. There is a lacuna in practical implementation of law. There is an abrogation on juvenile aspect. Minimum punishment, mandatory minimum punishment, what I call, will leave no room for discussion and will leave no room for discretion upon the judges. It will take away the power of the jury and thereby it will have an adverse impression There is a saying that every sentence must fit a crime. But here, the law has been amended to fit sentence into a crime. Next aspect is compensation to rape victim. Yes, of course, compensation to rape victim is being given even earlier to this particular CLAA amendment of 2018. Compensation to minor rape victim is a new strategy which was made more stringent, more effective, and more elaborately explained through CLAA Act of 2018. Even judgments have been given to provide victim compensation before this act also. So this CLAA Act is a progressive provision in the domain of compensation jurisprudence. Mandatory clause was inserted with the aspect of giving compensation to rape victim who is minor. Compensation has to be awarded with the two criteria, just and reasonable. Compensation should meet medical expenses and rehabilitation of victim by the perpetrator. It has to be paid by the perpetrator. Who is a perpetrator here? One who carries harm, illegal or immoral act, one who is involved in the horrific incident. I hope everybody understood with relating to these aspects. Now, we shall proceed towards amendment which is being carried to CRPC. What are the amendments which are carried to CRPC? Various amendments, more than a dozen of amendments were carried through CRPC. And to quote few, I can say section 26 clause A, section 154, section 161 clause 3, section 164 clause 5A, etc. There are many. So this procedural law of CRPC was also amended. Lastly, it was amended in the year 2013. So under 2018 Criminal Law Amendment Act, time-bound investigation was looked into. Time-bound investigation and disposal of appeal. For successful conviction, investigation is must. Procedure established by law is the cardial aspect. Principles of natural justice has to be followed. Procedure established by law is the cardinal principle of criminal justice system. Mandatory minimum punishment circumvent procedure established by law and due process of law, which are the fountain pillar of justice. Of course, delay in investigation by enforcement authorities, procedural laxity, delay in filing charge sheet leads to faulty investigation. And further, it will lead to hampering and tampering of evidences. Acquittal for want of evidence also added advantage for all this delay in investigations. Under CLAA 2018, prior 3 months was there to complete investigation, but it has been reduced to 2 months. That is a welcome provision. And section 374 of CRPC, wherein appeal has to be disposed within 6 months under CLAA. Fast track courts are established for more speedy disposal of justice. But sometimes time bound will eventually lead to non-complete of infractions. Of course, justice delayed is justice denied, but on the same hand, justice hurried is justice buried. Even amendment to bail provision was also brought into force by CLAA. Section 438, anticipatory aspect, anticipatory bail, where there is an apprehension of arrest, anticipatory bail can be taken into consideration. But the exclusive provision of this is not to be followed by the court. When court feels that the state is abusing its power of prima facie case against the accused, they will exercise judicial power and grant interim bail irrespective of the aspect. Under CLAA, they say that anticipatory bail should not be given, but the court will circumvent the situation according to the justice. So there is a conflict between judicial intervention and legislative interpretation. CLAA also places limitations on the court while granting regular bail under section 439 of CRPC. And if it is granted, they are conditioned to be followed. They have to follow what is called as statutory mandate. From bail application, from the date of bail application, within 15 days, they have to give public prosecutor the notice as to the aspect of bail is concerned, giving him representation to oppose the bail granted to the accused. Thus, removing anticipatory bail provision will burden the constitution courts here through CLAA amendment, with a petition seeking bail in anticipation of arrest under writ jurisdiction. So, on the whole, CLAA gives stringent and deterrent aspects, but balancing approach is always left to the judiciary. CLAA Act mandates minimum mandatory punishment of 20 years, which the court have no discretion. What were the aspects which was amended through CLAA? To Indian Evidence Act. As you all know that Indian Evidence Act is also a beneficial piece of criminal legislation. It is very important piece of legislation, piece of statute. Section 53A and Section 146 of Indian Evidence Act was drastically amended, which tells that in deciding the cases under Section 354, 354B, 354C, 354D, 376, 376A, AB, B, C, D, DA, DB, and E. In all these offenses, while deciding the legal character of or consent of the particular victim of rape, sexual experience, or character cannot be taken into consideration. The past sexual experience or character cannot be taken into consideration, which will apply for rape and gang rape below 12 and 16 years. Of course, 114A is also amended through CLAA 2013. But 146 also a beneficial provision which was amended through Criminal Law Legislation Act of 2018. So the benefit of presumption to aggravated offenses can also be given under Indian Evidence Act. So all these offenses are cognizable, non-bailable, and court of session will try it. What is cognizable? Police officer is having authority to arrest the person without warrant and can investigate without the prior permission of the court. Cognizable offense. Non-bailable, where bail cannot be granted. and it will be tried in court of session. Of course, from the court of session, you can go directly appealing to High Court, but the appeal has to be disposed within 6 months. Now an analysis, the last aspect. Of course, Criminal Law Amendment Act is the beneficial piece of legislation, but this particular Criminal Law Amendment Act is having several lacunas. One to say the mandatory minimum punishment of 20 years. There is no scientific statistic as to on what aspect 20 years is fixed. Mandatory minimum punishment is being accorded to an offender who is below 17, below 16, and also above 20 years. Furthermore, it is said that it is tempting to think that justice will be served by hanging some bad apples. Perhaps it is a confronted statement which is, of course, to be thought about. And after this, there were several things which underwent a drastic change. National Women Helpline number was given, 181. It is a toll-free number. And various centers to protect women, and even an app to protect woman if she is secluded in a lone place and if she apprehends any threat. All this goes for the state to protect women, and state is taking many measures, various beneficial measures to protect women from time to time. But though Criminal Law Amendment Act is there, the rape has not been decreased. It has been increasing day by day. The red letters of the newspaper is a classical example for that. Thus, one can say that it is not the judiciary, it is not the legislature, it is the human who have to change their thinking capacity towards women, especially men, and respect them. This is all about Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2018. Of course, if any discussions are there, the floor is open for discussions.
Thank you very much. Now we are left with only 3 minutes of the first session. So I think that we'll start with the question answer in the second session, which will start at 4:20. I wonder there were some of the students who were creating nuisance. I have removed some of them there. I believe the other participants maybe know who they were and they may be complaining to you about them. So that was very unfortunate that they were sending them messages which were not warranted. I think we close this session here only, and we now meet at 4:20 with the same link for a question answer session. Will that be fine? And in case anyone, I'll not be muting everyone because it will be creating chaotic situation here. All I'll be doing that anyone who has any question may raise their hand or say in the chat. So, and then I'll unmute them one by one. Will that be fine with everyone? I think. Save and except the main participants who have been participating every day, like Mr. Pawan Kundal and Mrs. Ritu Rastogi, Rashi, and all these. Then I'll be unmuting because I know them very well. Suppose there are students, they may create again some such situations, so I'm not unmuting them. So bye for now. We now meet at 4:20. Thank you very much, madam. You have explained it so well. In fact, everyone liked it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, so nice of you. So let me read out what is the text coming.
Thank you so much, and I thank everyone who have listened patiently, spending your time. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me an opportunity and platform.
Thank you very much. So now we meet at 4:20. Thank you very much. Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.